Good morning. During each and every airborne operation, your chain of command and the jump masters on each aircraft stress the importance of safety at all times. It is imperative that proper static line control and a smooth, safe exchange of the universal static line between the jumpers and the safety takes place at the paratroop door. This will not only enhance the airborne operation, but will greatly reduce the possibility of static line injuries to you, the jumper. The following training film will help demonstrate the proper actions by the jumpers and safeties during a mock demonstration as well as during an actual airborne operation. During the instructional portion of this video, there are a few things that we would like to point out that are imperative to the proper static line control and a smooth exchange between the jumper and the safety. This portion will take place on a C-130 Hercules aircraft with a jump master, a safety, and 7 jumpers on the left paratroop door. Notice that the jumpers all have a proper bite in their universal static line, 4 inches in the hand and 2 inches below. Their elbows are high, and as they have enough room, they begin to lock their elbow out. The safety takes the jump master's universal static line with one hand above and one hand below the jump master's hand, with the one closest to the skin of the aircraft being the higher hand. The safety is never positioned between the universal static line and the paratroop door. Notice the size of the bite for the jump master and his positioning. Bisecting the lead edge of the paratroop door and the jump master's universal static line is not blocking the safety from controlling the jumper's universal static line. The safety is positioned bisecting the trail edge of the paratroop door, controlling the number 1 jumper's universal static line and prepared to take the number 2 jumper's universal static line. Notice that as the jumpers move and there is more room, more of the jumpers extend their arms to the elbow lock position. Notice that each and every jumper is at the elbow lock position, which ensures a 1-second interval between jumpers. They are making eye-to-eye contact with the safety, dropping their arms straight to the reserve parachute, then turning 90 degrees to the paratroop door and exiting the aircraft. Once again, notice the eye-to-eye contact and the elbow lock position. Once again, the safety takes the jump master's universal static line with one hand above and one below the jump master's hand, ensuring that no portion of the universal static line had become misrouted. Notice how the jumper has a proper bite in the universal static line, 4 inches in the hand and 2 inches below. The elbow is high and the bite is approximately eye level. As jumpers move toward the paratroop door, the arm is fully extended to give each jumper a 1-second interval. During the next portion of this video, there are a few points that we would like to point out. This is the left paratroop door on an airborne operation. The safety did not properly receive the jump master's universal static line, and notice the very large bite in the universal static line that could possibly become misrouted. Notice once again the very large bite in the jump master's universal static line. The safety is properly positioned, however. The number 1 jumper is not in the proper standby position and is blocking the safety from being prepared to accept the next universal static line. Notice the size of the bite in the universal static line for the number 2 jumper. The number 3 jumper is not making eye-to-eye contact with the safety. The number 4 jumper did not release their universal static line and drop their arm prior to turning towards the paratroop door. Notice the large backlash of the number 5 jumper's universal static line. This could potentially be a problem if the next jumper was too close. The number 11 jumper did not hand their universal static line to the safety. This caused the safety to miss the universal static line, and he had trouble controlling the universal static line of the number 12 jumper. The remainder of the stick did better, and the safety made a toe jumper check and gave a thumbs up. Now we would like to show you the right paratroop door on the same aircraft. As you will see, some of the same problems occur as on the left paratroop door. However, we would like you to note the amount of backlash of the universal static line when the jumper exits from the aircraft. We would also like to point out just a couple of things. The safety properly received the universal static line from the jump master. The safety was positioned so that he could receive the universal static lines and a smooth exchange could be accomplished. Notice how during the transition from the jumper to the safety, the universal static line does not present the same taunt properties of the prior static line during exit. The safety conducted a thorough toe jumper check and issued a thumbs up. During this next short segment, we would like to show you the paratroop doors on a second aircraft for the same airborne operation. The safety takes the jumpmaster's universal static line with one hand above, hand below the jumpmaster's hand. Notice the improper bite the safety has on the universal static line. Excessive universal static line not being controlled could possibly become misrouted around the jumpmaster or an item of equipment. The safety is bisecting the trail edge of the paratroop door. The safety does not look at the jumpers while the jumpmaster is conducting a clear the rear. The number 1 jumper has an improper bite in the universal static line. There is excess below the hand. The safety receives the number 1 jumper's universal static line properly. He takes the universal static line from the jumper, one hand above and one hand below. The number 1 jumper exits as the safety pushes the universal static line back with the trail hand. Notice how during the transition from the jumper to the safety, the universal static line does not present the same taunt properties of the prior static line during exit. Notice jumper number 8's improper and weak exit. Jumper number 12 had an improper exit head first. Jumper number 13 had an improper exit. He hit the trail edge of the paratroop door. The safety takes the jumpmaster's universal static line in the same manner as he took the jumpers. When the safety takes the universal static line from the jumpmaster, the safety should allow the universal static line to slip from his hands. This will prevent the safety from injury upon the jumpmaster exiting from the aircraft. This next portion will take place on the right paratroop door of the same aircraft. The safety takes the universal static line from the jumpmaster properly. The safety has control of the universal static line. The safety forms a bite in the universal static line and holds it with the lead hand. The safety has excess universal static line in his hands and not watching the jumpers while the jumpmaster is conducting a clear the rear. The safety is positioned improperly facing towards the forward end of the aircraft. The safety hands the universal static line back to the jumpmaster with an excessive bite in the universal static line. Notice jumper number 2 has an improper bite in the universal static line. As the jumpers exit from the aircraft, the safety is holding the universal static line very low on the trail edge of the paratroop door. Notice once again the universal static line does not display the same properties upon exiting as the previous static line. Notice jumper number 4 did not properly hand the universal static line to the safety. Jumpers number 8, number 9, and number 10 had improper bite in the universal static line. Notice the last jumper did not return his hand to the end of the reserve parachute after handing the universal static line to the safety. His hand went straight to the canopy release assembly on his right side. The safety began to pull in deployment bags before getting thumbs up from the safety on the opposite paratroop door. During this video,
We have shown the proper handling of the universal static line while in the aircraft. We have also shown some of the current trends that are occurring on airborne operations. The safe exchange of the universal static line between the jumper and the safety is paramount to a safe and fluent airborne operation. The sky, even more so than the sea, is terribly unforgiving of even the slightest mistake. The price of your mistake must never be a jumper's life.